Good morning. This is my usual early morning crazy talk after waking up and going back to sleep and waking up and going back to sleep and staring at my meditation screen with all of the pretty colors and lights. Yeah, I don't know. You wonder who made these things? Who thought it was a good idea to have like a castle melting into a horse that melts into a bird? I mean, didn't they think that there'd be some fool like myself that would stay up and just stare at that thing for hours? Stare at that thing until my eyes went dry? Okay, well, that's probably too much information that you didn't really need to know. But I'm kind of, once I start on that type of roll of like information that you probably didn't need to know, I just grasp it and run with it and keep going. Something else that I thought of. I used to have kind of a part-time gig where I would be doing the life coach thing and talking to men about their personal lives and things that the secrets that I'm not going to mention anybody's name. If all of a sudden somebody's seeing this and going, oh my God, she's going to talk. Nah, I'm not. Men from basically my generation, I'm going to say 55 to 75, a lot of them, have had bisexual encounters. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe they were a little kid experimenting. And maybe they didn't stop. But it was way more taboo at one time. And so people weren't honest about it. So in praise of this new generation, and believe me, they get a lot of smoke and not that much praise, having people being honest about their, we'll call it preferences, is so much better than thinking that you have to fit into a mold that you don't fit into, or some pre-vert is going to encounter you and do something to you, and then that memory is going to like follow you the rest of your life. I think that the openness and acceptance about it, other than maybe within certain fundamental religions, is probably a good thing. I'm not saying that's biblically correct. Now, I know there are people that have tried to make it be. What they do is take a little passage here and a little passage there. I even had somebody try to say that the Bible was okay with women terminating their, you know what I'm going with that. Yeah, you take a little passage here and a little passage there, and then you try to glue them together and take them completely out of context to make your point. Yeah, people have been doing that for a long time. No, it's not acceptable. Not acceptable. But that doesn't mean that you can't. If you're, and I don't know who needs to hear this, maybe absolutely nobody. But if you do want a religion where you are accepted and that is your thing, I guess technically I'm still a member of the Unity Church. I'm not gay. I've been married to men a whole bunch of times. But I'm not there, but I mean, no, if you are. Unity is way more accepting of that sort of thing. At least they used to be. I kind of broke with them mid-90s. I didn't break. I mean, I didn't go in there and say, I'm done with you. They're a lot, their teachings are a lot Joel Osteen, meaning it's a blanket acceptance of all people, which I'm not going to tell you guys that's how I really believe that it is, and that's with a whole lot of religions. It's not, dude. I'll throw a word in there that I shouldn't. I don't think you can do just anything you want to do and then say a prayer and it's all poof, magically washed away. I think you always got to make your amends somewhere, somehow. Now, you can believe you got to come back many lifetimes to do it, or you can believe in karma, or you can believe you're going to go to the fiery furnace. That's all up to you, but I don't quite think you can just do anything to anybody unless you're, you know, like a little, you know what, worshiper. But I didn't mean, I go all over the place when I'm trying to make a video. That's what I kind of look forward to. Oh, to the LFR family, they would do counseling. Van Hall, who has been on the internet and does such a sensational job, and they are the most warm, friendly people. They do give you coaching on things like that. I'm not doing this professionally, and the day will probably come that most of these videos will disappear. The ones with me in them, especially if I start doing this more on a professional basis. It won't be professional even then, because I already said, I just want comedy and keeping it light. We got enough heavy. We've got enough fear-mongering. And I don't mean, you know, for you now to question if your man has ever had one of those experiences. But what I guess I was saying too is that most of the men that have had those experiences, if they went on to marry a woman or whatever, there is some indication in their preferences and their behaviors that you don't need to go look for, but you obviously should probably always be honest with your partner about that. Coming from my generation, us women got blamed for anything. If the man didn't find you attractive, it wasn't on him, and it wasn't that he got something with the wrong gender at some point. It'd always be, a woman, you're just not pretty enough. You need to go get your hair did, and you need to make him some better food and get his house slippers and stuff. From my generation, they did think that. My mom was a little more far removed, and she was even 10 years older than my dad, but my mom she'd had a very questionable past, I guess, so she was kind of an angry woman. But she also told me that, you know, she let me know. I mean, my mom let me know if I gained a few pounds or whatever. What I was saying is that a lot of behavior from men at 55 to 75 who have had those other experiences that you may or may not know about might be the reason for some of the things that they do or don't do. I don't know. Maybe I just better hush up. I'm not like throwing a wrench in your head there so that you get to think, I wonder what he meant by that. Maybe this crazy biatch here is onto something. Well, all I know is that a lot of them have had the bi experiences. Might have been one and done. Might have been it was never done. But okay, no matter. And I'm just praising this next generation because they can at least own it and talk about it. And I think the lack of being judged harshly is what helps. And if you are a person who feels you want a real accepting place, I'm sure that Unity is just exactly like it was. You might find some comfort there if that's what you need. I'm trying to end on a positive note because I've been all over the planet and probably not much positive has come out of this video. But anyway, enjoy your Sunday if you can after all that. Bye-bye.